Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices and a few stocks for the 4th of March. And we'll look at the NASDAQ first, and then we'll look at the S&P and then some stocks. So, with the NASDAQ, as you may recall, we've been counting 5 waves down through this first leg here. And because we get 5 waves here, that means we get a correction and then we'll get another 5 waves. So we can look at this in two ways. We can look at it, the problem comes back into this area through here where we look at, if we look at wave 4 here, then we can look at wave 1 here and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave and back for the fourth wave. And that should leave the roughly 38.2% retracement level essentially where it is here at the moment. So we wouldn't want to see it coming down too much further, and which is also pegging the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So it will come down further from this point. What we don't want to see also is we don't want to see, where's my line? Here it is. So we don't want to see wave 4 overlap the top of blue wave 1 here as well. That would be another indication that this would be the wave 4 here, and this would be the wave 5 here, and then we have a serious top in place at this point. Or if the market's going to continue higher at that point, then we would need to look at it in another way. We would need to look at all of this here as wave 1 to the upside and coming back to the 61.8% here. So that's another thing that we can look at as well at this point. But if that's breached, then definitely we've got more serious top in play at that point. And that means that if that's breached, then we'd have to look back down to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree down here as well for this. So there's a lot at stake here. We've been looking at this. This has really been sort of leading to the downside in a clear sort of pattern. So we've always had this wave 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here for the A wave, looking for the B wave to come back into the box. Only just, but that happens sometimes. I mean, maybe it could be just an A wave and a B wave and a C wave and come back up here further as well. So we need to be mindful of that. But otherwise, it looks it's moving quite quick through here. So it's probably a series of 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here and 3 here. So we'll need to play out in a series of 4s like this here and 5s, so coming into here. So it may end up being that sort of short within that space there. We'll have a closer look at that now. Doesn't really offer a nice 5-wave structure down through here for this, so I need to study that a bit more, but probably 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for 1 and 2 here. So we could probably label it like that, which I'll just do for the time being, but just to let you know it needs checking if anybody's got needs something to do. So we'll just track these 5 waves down, and we'll double check on that. We talked about short here obviously yesterday, so maybe a short there, but yeah, we can expect to see a bit more support come in around here. So probably looking at the levels and things, so 12.8 is important. That's the 72 there, so 650 there, and then the 500 after that. That's the next level down, and then of course we've got 300 here, next level, close enough, 200 and 100 in here, close enough for the time being. So yeah, look, that's what we're looking at here. This would be it'll be sort of interesting really, because even if we just do get these 5 waves here, just imagine that we do have a top in place over here as wave 5, then all of this here, I'm just shooting the breeze now, just playing the guessing game, would be wave 1 down here, copy this for a wave 2 coming back here again. You with me? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here just for 1 and back for 2, and then down for a big third wave here. So we really need to be mindful of that. So that's what we'll be picking up tomorrow and looking at trade setups on the long side. But otherwise, otherwise we'll just be looking at well, wave 4, wave 5 down here, and then moving up. But this move to the upside here, we will need to see if it's impulsive, if it's corrective, and we'll need to see where the stocks are as well. So I was going to open with the stocks today, but I thought I won't throw it around too much. Yeah, anyway, that's the NASDAQ. So yeah, no real change in this one here for this. So the S&P, there was two things we're looking at here, the same once again with wave 4s here and so on. But in this case, this wave, this move with the NASDAQ, it moved right down through here, testing these lows here, but it never did this with the S&P. So I was looking at it in two ways. First of all, this way here where we have wave 3 here, with wave 4 coming into this place, and then wave 5 to the upside. But I was also looking at it, as you know, as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then going up for 3, 4, and 5. But obviously that wouldn't be in line with the NASDAQ as such. But let's go in and have a look at both counts and see what we've learnt from that. So this was where we had wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C here for wave 2. And then moving up into this direction. Look, it's still possible. We can play with this, but probably not the case. And but at the same time, also too, that would leave us now with this high here. We'd use that high, and then this high here. So we don't really have a nice impulse wave up through here for this either. So I was thinking also too, this. I'll just use these here for the moment. So even if we were looking at wave 4 here, just looking at this here, we may end up with a bit of a triangle pattern coming in here for this as well. So this low here could bring into this here, so yeah, down into here further. That kind of thing could occur as well, not as a wave 1 and 2 though. At that point it would be it would have to be that we'll have to move the 3 up to here, but in that case here, yeah, I'll put this here and this here just for the moment. We'll just use this as the playground, this particular chart here. So yeah, possible triangle pattern, but a bit of a long shot. On the 1 hour chart, we looked at it like this because we don't have a really nice 5-wave structure down here like the NASDAQ, you know. But if the NASDAQ's got that nice 5 waves, well, it means we'll go down further. And thanks to Rick, he mentioned a gap in the futures down here while the market was up here, and we thought we're going long. So well done, Rich. And yeah, so now we're sort of heading down. And yesterday we were looking at this heading down, but it was kind of a bit weird because this was the low here. Maybe I shouldn't have looked at this as a low, but as an A wave and a B wave here made a good case. But it just didn't give us 5 waves to the upside. So we had wave 1 here and 2 here, and we could probably look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. It just didn't give us that wave 4 and 5 here that I was looking for, one more high here. It just didn't get that because we're going to go long above that high once that had come into play. But it didn't come into play, and it just sort of gotten away on us a little bit. So apologies about that. I mean, when you look at it in hindsight, it becomes a little bit easier just going short under these lows here, which I probably didn't mention. I try to mention both sides when I can, but either way, now we need to look at this moving lower as such. So we need to bring this into play here and this here. And yeah, I mean, we've counted down the NASDAQ as wave 1 here. So that would be wave 1 here. I can see wave 1 here. That would be wave 1. So we could label that wave 1 for the time being here. Do we put this as an A and a B and a C over here for wave 2? That's the question. Or does wave 2 go on top of this little one here would be the question as well. But we'd need to look at wave 3. It doesn't look like it really wants to extend down very far, does it? Kind of interesting how it doesn't want to go down where the NASDAQ is going down. I think that's got something to do with the rotation of stocks as well, because we're seeing tech stocks being sold off for quite some time now, while we're seeing energy stocks more, well, crude, but also gas as well, move to the upside, plus banks as well. So there's been that rotation going on. So the S&P may be a bit steadier because of that. I'm not quite sure. It's not my, I'm just the patterns person, but it's always nice to try to understand more and more all the time. Whatever takes your fancy at the time, whatever's necessary. Anyway, for the S&P, it does appear that, you know, following the NASDAQ, we'll be seeing lower ground come in here. How far down, I'm not sure, and will it pick up speed and so on. If you're going to short this now, then under this low here with a stop above, either up here somewhere for that, and definitely look to cover at this point at the 3.8, because there will be a bounce at that point. I should just put that. I mean, that could just be the third wave there, I think. If we took this one as 1 and 2 here, and the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave to here. So there could be something like this. But that will give you guys something to do anyway, to pull apart this and try to really understand it. But there's definitely 5 in here. You'll just need to work out this one here. That will be good exercise for you. But yeah, so we just really want to work out, once we get past that, once we get that 5 waves down here, anything below that, well, then it opens up a can of worms down, you know, for a bigger move to the downside. So let's have a look at stocks. So this is lending tree here, and I'd been looking at this as an A and a B and a C here, and then an impulse wave here, then an A, B, C here, and then we were looking for 5 waves up through to here. We took a bit of profit. We had a trade which I've removed now. We took a bit of profit here, and we got stopped out down here for that. So, however, the other count for this here would be all of an A wave down here, an A, B, C for the B wave up here, and down for the C wave over here for that. So that's a possibility for this market as well. Now we'll need to consider that a bit more, but I won't do that until it takes out this low here, or see how it treats the 250, because it could just move straight back up from this point as some sort of A, B, C pattern coming here and move straight up. So I want to keep an eye on that, but we've talked about wave B being here, unfortunately, and now we drag wave C across here, but that's not confirmed until we take this low out here. So I'll just give it a little bit more time. Tesla yesterday, we switched to the more, we had it as a bearish pattern, and then but also a bullish pattern if this top here was taken out, but that wasn't the case, so we could just continue with our 5 waves to the downside. So you can expect Tesla to move lower. This is a corrective pattern, so we'll see that move down into the 600 area and possibly the 500 area through here for that. Maybe we just should have a quick look at the tick chart now that that's sort of moved along a little bit. I really need to update all of this here for this. So this becomes wave 4 here. This becomes wave 3. So I won't bore you to death with this at the moment, but we can expect it to come lower still. So obviously there is support at the 650 here, which is the medium level here, but I already got it here. So yeah, coming down into wave A here for that. But there'll be a bounce off here, so you have to be mindful of that. Okay. This is Facebook. So we've been talking about the bearish count with this now. So wave A here and A, B, C here for the B wave, and then down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. It's kind of interesting that, you know, Facebook and a couple of others, Amazon and stuff, have corrected, you know, way back over here in time, and have been, you know, having their correction. I mean, the SP 500 and the NASDAQ have only just really started it from February, you know, mid-February, so to speak. So does that mean that Facebook and Amazon are sort of that far in front, or are leading in that front, and this is what we can expect to go through on the other markets? That will be interesting to figure out. But yeah, look, the best I can do here is 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave. So down around the 220 for this. The 230 is going to offer good support there as well for that. On the tick chart here, we can have a closer look at that. So this is from that B wave high. We'll have to look at this as 1 here and 2 here. And yesterday we're looking at this as 1 ABC for 2 here, and then moving down lower for this. So this looks like it's 5 waves here in this little move here. It's going to be a bit tricky going short in this case here. Could this be looked at as wave 1 going up here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Possibly, but we've got that overlap there for that. And now we have an impulse wave here, so that will be looking at this as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then moving down lower into wave 3, 4 and 5 for wave 3, and then wave 4 and so on. But one of the points here is that if this is the length of wave 1 here, then wave 3 is going to have to be longer than that. So we're going to be down here further for that. So we can bring these down a little bit further this regard in this time. We'll see how that goes. Just give that a bit of space, but that's what we're working with there. And wave 4 can come back and test, and wave 5 coming down here for that. So that's the way that can come down at that point. Already had them there. Right, and Square was another little bearish case that we noted earlier on in the piece. How much that affected everything else, I'm not sure, but Square and PayPal and Visa are all sort of moving into the new world, blockchain and cryptos and so on. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we were aware that we had 5 waves here, and we were looking for a correction for a B wave and down for a C wave. Well, that's obviously starting now, and we've got increased volume on that. And you can also see in the move up here, we've got divergence, which is the market moving up on lower volume. So that's what corrections are, lower volume, and then the trend resumes here on increased volume. So we can look at that coming down a little bit further now. We can also look at that on the tick chart. Where are we here? Up here somewhere, do the trick. Okay, I haven't got all the labeling here, but as you know, we've been counting down here as 5 waves down here, and then we're looking for a corrective move back to the 61.8, hauntingly correct. Still short a little wave here, maybe that's it there, but yeah, a bit short on that one, but yeah, but anyway, there we go. So now we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So I would look. This could get a little bit more complicated here as well. It could. We have to be a little bit aware of this. So It's possible, nah, because that's already 5 waves there. It's not like it's 3 waves. I was just thinking that we could have a B wave in here and then go back up for a C wave here as an A and a B and a C wave. But I don't think so. We've already pulled back up to the 61.8%, and now we've got 5 waves down here. So we're more likely to have this as wave 1 here, with a corrective rally for wave 2, coming back up 50 or 60%. And you might be able to get a short trade out of this if you see a nice corrective rally here in 3 waves. That means you can short under here, and if you're keen, you can also do this, and if you're keen again, you can also short the 5th wave, because this will be a 5-3-5 structure in here, and short it at that point, and that will take you down to the 200. So that's not too bad, building in this side of the fence over here. It'll probably take you lower than that, because this C wave coming down here, or may even be a 3rd wave, whatever, but the move down here will either, at minimum, will be 61.8%. So it'll be like just the 3rd wave distance here. That's the minimum it would be, right? Otherwise, it will have equality with the length of this, or it's going to be another, take this length here and add another 61.8% onto it as well. But yeah, we should actually take this a little bit more serious here, because if this is, because I don't know if it's down for the A wave here, the B wave here, and going down for the C wave here, do you know? Or if this is wave 1 here and back for 2, then down for 1 and back for 2. So that second low there, that's going to be a nice short trade through there. And if you can get that, let's just say that I'm right for once, and we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and that may not be finished, that little one there, I'm not sure. But once we get that rally there, finding that second low, and this one here you can also add onto as well through here. But if you can get that second low, yeah, that's the trigger for the short. Okay, I'm waffling on a little bit, sorry about that. So Apple. So Apple's got this bearish move here as well, where we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So you can also, you could just short that here and put the stop above, like the robo method. Do you know the robo method? I use it as, I can use it on a 2-minute chart, a daily chart, a weekly chart. I got it from, well, I watched, well, I didn't watch, I took all of W.D. Gann's trades and out of Chrysler, and I think it was Chrysler, and a big bull market and a bear market back in the days. And yeah, I took all these trades and I plotted them all on a chart and tried to figure out why he bought here and there, because he's such an elusive character, isn't he? Especially when you start getting into astrology and cycles and things, you just can't pin it down. So yeah, so I developed the robo method from that, and he used it as a weekly chart, as a weekly method. So it's pretty simple. It's on our website. So yeah, if he was going short down here, he would be looking at the next low here. So he would go short here, put the stop on there, put the stop on there. He would add to the position here, and then also maybe even add to at the end of that week, add to that position. He'd add about 4 times and just keep bringing the stop down. So that's the robo method. I've got robo 1, 2, and 3, but anyway, it's another story. But that's how he made his money, and it would have been he could have wrote it in a bloody paragraph in a book and be done with it, but he just wrote volumes of stuff, didn't he? I mean, some of it are absolutely fantastic, but yeah. Anyway, that's his secret source. Alphabet, starting to look a little bit weak here, because we're looking to go long at the top here. So I think what we might do here, because I don't know how far this can drop here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that up under that low there, because this little group of what's the names in here, bars, is corrective. It's got overlapping wave structures here. We can also bring this down on top of that one, just in case, on top of that one. Then we talked about a classic trading levels pattern sitting on top of 2100, but I can see that's going to drop, and we've got a position in here, and we've taken a bit off the table here, because if that, I mean, what it could do, it could make a fool out of me and just drop down here a little bit and then head back up, and we'll have to get back in. But that's okay, because at least I'm controlling it here. I'm in control of the markets. The market's not in control of me. I make my decision. So because what could happen here is it can just, you know, drop from that point, and then, you know, we've got a problem at that point. So we need to manage that. And the last one is Amazon. And yeah, so wave 3 here with an A wave here. I'm looking at all of this as the B wave here. I know this can be counted differently, and we're looking for, as we mentioned yesterday, we're looking for another move down, which we've got here. So yeah, we've got to count 5 waves down here. I'm not sure. I'll need to pull this apart, because I need to see if we've got this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave here, and the fourth and the fifth. So it will still come down a bit further. This will come down further here. But it'll be interesting to see, you know, they'll come down, bounce off it, come through, you know, the normal routine. So once we've got that low in place here, because we might end up, you know, some of those other stocks are coming down further than this. So that's sort of, it came back up quite high here. Normally what I find is that, and we could probably get a triangle again out of this, but yeah, when stocks rally high, back up high here, it means that they don't come really low down here normally. And if they don't rally very high, they only come back up, you know, under 50%, then they'll drop much lower than that point. So there's still plenty of buoyancy in this market, of course, and we are just tripping across the major level here for this. So I think any move down may be short-lived, so we'll just be a bit careful on shorting that at this point. The other thing that I wanted to mention, I'll mention it again a bit later, is that I've found a person to give us a hand with the innovative disruptive stocks. So he will put out 5 odd charts a day on Trading Lounge, and they'll just be he'll just be doing his own thing. His name's Alessio, and he's got a really good eye for Elliott. He doesn't know much about the trading levels yet, so I need to introduce those to him. But the main point is that take it easy on him, and welcome him aboard. And yeah, so he'll start putting out stock analysis in Elliott Wave on that 130 list that I have for innovative disruptive stocks. So yeah, we'll try and shape that service up. Not that I separate our services. I know that's the modern thing to do, charge everybody for every damn thing. But I think it's really important that even if you don't trade Forex, for instance, you might want to look at the Elliott Wave count on the dollar index, because it affects the gold market or something like that. So, you know, that's why all our currencies and all the indices and all the stocks and everything that we have is all just one service. Yeah, you know, and people say that, well, Peter, I only want this one particular thing, you know. But I think, you know, from my perspective, I think it's important that that I do my best, and everybody sees that, you know, everything is open, and everybody's got access to everything, even if they don't use it all the time. I just feel that's a bit old-fashioned, I know, but I feel it's better. It's just better. All right, I'll leave it at that. But we'll talk about Alessio shortly again. But you'll find Alessio's work starting to pop up, not in the analysis section. That will happen next week. We're just still getting things in order at this end, just getting the design right and a few other little sorts of things. So, but they're under the trade section, under the US stocks for the trade section. That's where they'll start, and next week they'll go over to the analysis section, and yeah, we'll start running it from that point. Alrighty, cheers.